Hi, Troy Golden here, commercial real estate broker, tenant representation specialist. Going to summarize the site selection and relocation process for office users. This is just a very kind of brief 10,000 foot or 30,000 square foot summary, but if you want more details, please go to my website, goldengroupcre.com. For the purpose of the summary, I'm going to assume that the user's 10,000 square feet or so looking for office space, just in terms of the time ranges I'll give. Every business obviously is unique with unique real estate needs. So likewise, every site selection proceeds according to the distinct characteristics of that business and the market it's taking place in. But most successful site selections usually progress through a series of steps which I'll outline. And I'll provide timeframes as well, again, assuming that you are an office user looking for about 10,000 square feet of space. Step number one, about 10 to 12 months out at the very latest, if not earlier, you should select a tenant representation broker who specializes in the local office market. Really, the earlier you start this, the better, in my opinion. The larger the space you're looking for, then the more lead time you'll want. But assuming 10,000 square feet, then you want to start at least a year out. You'll also want to review your existing lease as soon as you are thinking about renewing or potentially relocating. Oftentimes my clients have forgotten a few items over the many years that they've occupied the space. I have another article about what to look for when reviewing your lease, but your tenant representation broker should be able to help you with that. Next step is to, with your tenant representation broker, develop your site selection criteria. Based on the criteria, you'll develop a list of properties to tour and then tour those selected properties, taking detailed notes. You'll want to create a short list after you tour of at first 5 or so properties based on the tour results, and then your broker should perform a financial analysis, and based on the financial analysis, you should narrow it down to your top 2 or 3 options. At this point, you should be about 8 to 10 months out from the lease expiration date. Something else you should be or could be doing is beginning the space planning process kind of in conjunction with touring and site selection criteria. The next step after creating your short list is to request or send an RFP, or requesting a RFP to the finalists, asking basically for a leasing proposal to create a competitive bidding environment. So you have multiple landlords bidding for your tenancy, as well as perhaps your current landlord as well, so you can get the best deal as a tenant. Make sure that you don't neglect to talk to your current landlord at this point as well, and let him know that you are looking at alternative spaces, so that your current landlord does give you a good deal and doesn't take your tenancy for granted. And at this point, you should be 6 to 8 months out from your expiration date. Next step, you should receive and evaluate those initial proposals. You can update your financial analysis with the new data, retour if necessary, if something new has come up based on the proposals, reconsider your priorities now that you have some firm numbers, and now you're 4 to 6 months out from your lease expiration date. And now it's time to empower your tenant representation broker to negotiate on your behalf, and to again create that competitive bidding environment for your tenancy. He'll use market research to inform the negotiation. Make sure you enter the negotiation with clear objectives, and seek to uncover the landlord's hidden agenda, as I write about in my blog, to make sure you get the best deal for your tenancy. Again, you should be 4 to 6 months out at this point. Once the parties reach general consensus or broad consensus on economic terms, it's time to sign a non-binding letter of intent to document the agreement. This is as far as your tenant rep broker typically takes you in terms of the negotiations. The next step is to have an attorney review the lease contracts, which you'll receive after the letter of intent. Retain an attorney who specializes in commercial real estate contracts. Typically, a local attorney is best. And you should be 3 to 5 months out from your expiration date at this point. And finally, now that you've reviewed the lease and had it signed reviewed by your attorney, and you've signed the lease, it's time to supervise any construction that needs to be done on the space, and now plan for the move. That means choose a move coordinator, hire a moving company, etc., etc. And you should be 2 to 4 months out from your lease expiration date. This is a very broad overview. There's more details on each of these steps at my website, goldengroupcre.com, or you can contact me using my phone number 630-805-2463, or my email troy@goldengroupcre.com.